she's the hands that we talked about during the opening hymn. So we just want to thank them and applaud them for all their work. It's not every day, Ginny, that a pastor has a congregant that's been part of a congregation for 80 years. And so I've heard a lot of your stories and a lot of inspiration about who you are, and I'm so grateful that you've agreed to get on film.
Oh dear.
You don't think your stories are important, but I know that people cherish your presence here in this community,
gracious.
that you have been an inspiration.
My name is Eric Hartz. I'm the moderator of the First Congregational Church in Alameda. I have been going to this church for 12 years now.
Oh.
I first met Ginny 12 years ago. She has been at First Congregational Church for 80 years.
Oh.
And we are here to share some time together, ask some questions, and learn about some history. Where were you born, and also who was Mabel Tennant?
I was born at Mabel Tennant's maternity home, and it was just up the street from the church at 1716 Chestnut Street. And it just happens that there was no hospital here in the town at the time.
You lived in Alameda for all of your youth?
All of my youth, yes.
And what elementary schools did you go to?
I went to one elementary school from kindergarten through the 8th grade. It was Haight School, and it was a 3-block walk from my house. It was easy to get to. And then I went to Alameda High.
And did you also go to Sunday school at any point in that time?
Off and on, once in a while, my parents would send me off to Sunday school and at the Presbyterian church because it was next door to the school.
So eventually you knew that you were going to get married.
Yes.
Tell us where you got married and how did you choose the location?
I was married here in this church, and the reason we joined the church, my girlfriend Bobby and her family were members of the church, and I just, we just didn't happen to go. And so anyway, in the course of events, we visited, and my mother decided that this was a pretty church to get married in, and so we joined the church. I said I always joined for the wrong reasons. And I had been singing with the choral group in college, and she said, "Why don't you come to choir?" And so I started coming to choir. And so that really is what got me attending and being part of the church congregation. And it's been a growing experience because obviously I needed to learn a lot and grow a lot. So it was a good growing experience being part of the choir.
Alameda's efforts to combat homelessness in the city. Established in 1988, AHN founded the Midway Shelter, which focuses on serving women and children. And Ginny Krutilek is a founding member who has been there from the start.
Ginny is the face of Midway. Whenever we go out, everybody knows that Ginny is where you drop off stuff on her porch. Even her phone number was tied to the shelter, and so she was constantly answering the phone, helping with Midway. And this is well into her 80s and 90s that she was doing all of this.
Over the last 4.5 decades, Miss Ginny has dedicated herself to fighting homelessness in Alameda. She's become a well-known force in the city, leading the charge to secure funding through events like the 4th of July race. And year after year, Ginny and AHN manage to reach the pledge goals that ensure Midway can remain open, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Our early beginnings, we had a lot of people, and we needed a place to meet. And so I got permission to meet here in the Miracle Room in our church. And so, oh gracious, we had about 20 or better people would come to the meetings. And I don't know, I sort of ended up, since I was from the committee, and one of the people that started it, we ended up, I don't know, for a while I was sort of the, spokesperson, and it took a while to get, really organized. And when I would be asked to speak to a group, I'd say it's like trying to hold a bowl full of Jell-O without the bowl. It was that type of a organization at the original time. We ended up working in partnership with Building Futures, who currently operate the Midway shelter. So, yeah, they do a great job.
I'm sure that everyone is really glad that the invisible structure holding that Jell-O bowl was you. That's wonderful.
There were a lot of good people that helped. Oh, definitely. I wasn't the only person involved.
What was your role along the way for Alameda Homeless Network and for the Midway Shelter as it was moving along?
For a while, I was sort of the chairperson, and Larry, our minister at that time, was the treasurer. And I one day said to him, you know what? I think you do a better job as the chairperson, and I'll be the treasurer. So I'm still the treasurer.
You're 30 years later, you're the treasurer of the Midway Shelter.
Not the whole time, but a good piece of the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. The community has been incredible support, and this church too has been a wonderful support. Yeah, it's good.
We know that Elena is going to be talking to you as we film, and she's
it.
told me that, Ginny, you are the church. That Ginny is the church.
Oh, gracious.
Yeah.
What wisdom or hopes would you like to share with younger members of the church community?
I would like, people to really practice being courteous and loving toward one another. And loving doesn't mean always hugging somebody. It means respect. I think as much as anything, a respect for another person's being a real person. Yeah, I think it's respect for that, and the ability to accept people who are may not be just like you, and might be a little bit different in many ways.
I love that, respecting people who are different than who
That's
you
really
are.
important, and it's being able to accept a person for who they happen to be. Yeah, and that's a big piece of it.
Yeah, that's something a lot of us need to work on too.
Yeah.
Ginny, thank you so much for doing this wonderful
you're
film.
welcome. Thank you.
You've shared your heart and your life, and we're so grateful.
Thank you.